welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of, well, now it's becoming a regular thing in terms of interviewing international fans from international fan bases that support Leicester City. We've got Mirko with us today. Mirko, first of all, how are you doing?
I'm very fine, Neil. Thank you very much, and thank you for having me. Thank you. How are you?
No problem. I'm well, thank you. Leicester City this season not been great. Again, we'll probably get onto that in a little bit more detail. But we'll first start off with probably what people want to know is where are you based and what is your origin story of Leicester City?
I am based in it's called Nieuwegein, and Nieuwegein is actually based near Utrecht. It's in the Dutch Midlands, and that's like a 45-minute drive below Amsterdam. So that's where I live. Became a Leicester fan since 2009 because I support my local team, that is FC Utrecht, and I had a season ticket for like 12 years, and every match we go to a fan bar, and I just literally bumped up again to an Englishman, and his name is Steve, and we had a chat and a few beers and with a nice talk, and I said, "Where are you from?" And he said, "I'm from Leicester." I said, "Okay, nice." And so he joined our group with some beers before matches, and I just asked him, "When was the last time you visited Leicester City?" And I said, "Oh, that was so long ago." And so I said, "Well, why don't we go to Leicester to see a match?" And I said, "Yeah, that's a good idea." So that was in 2009 against Peterborough at the King Power. Yes, so that was my first visit, and so that's how I got in contact with the Leicester City.
That's amazing. I mean, we've heard some stories in the past, but that again, the person to person, we've heard some incredible stuff about that. Yes, that's a great story in terms of how you again 2009 supported again. You've supported Leicester through quite a long period of time, and again, that's about the time that I started like properly following them and going to every single game as well. And from then, it was been. Even then, you've seen again the Mandrich era, and now the King Power era as well, and so you've seen pretty much it all. So within that, what's some of your memorable moments? So yeah, we'll come on to like the 2016 and the FA Cup and things like that as well, but especially towards the beginning, like 2009 to before the kind of Mandrich era, what were your things behind
that? Memorable things was a match against Manchester United, the 5-3 result. And that was amazing. When Louis van Gaal was a manager at Manchester United, he came to the King Power. I wasn't there at that match, but I saw it on television, and that was quite very memorable. So that was an amazing match to see, and just winning with 5-3. So that was quite impressive. Yeah, and but before that, I was visiting a match against Fulham. Leicester was playing the championship, and it was this League Cup game, and Leicester won also with 5-4-3 or something, and it was quite a tense game, and it was also with a Dutch coach, Martin Jol. He was back then the coach of Fulham, and it was a very big match. So Leicester played Championship, Fulham played the Premier League, and it was quite satisfying to see a Championship club beating a Premier League club in that time. Yeah, it still is.
I remember that game actually. I remember the going into that game thinking if we get a draw or get something, and then getting the win. Again, I don't think I was at the game, but I remember everybody in Leicester were just exactly buzzing to beat a Premier League team. And it's funny how you cast your mind back and you go, "Wow, we beat a Premier League team." Where now, again, you're coming up to now and you're going, "My God, how you've again from 2009 to now." It must have been a roller coaster for you as well in terms of supporting them all that time.
Absolutely, and being a fan of Leicester since 2009, experiencing winning the championship, experiencing promoting to the Premier League, fighting against relegation, the great escape, and the season after that winning the league, and now winning the FA Cup. Also some tragedy with the owner. That was very shocking and very sad, and it still is. And so it's it's really special for being a Leicester fan. And that I also had have a tattoo on my wrist with the logo of the.
Oh
You can
wow.
see it. Yeah,
Yes.
it's it reminds me of winning the title, and also reminding me that nothing is impossible. And
Mhm.
that's so I have this tattoo on my wrist, so I'm really proud of that. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's coming. I don't even know many Leicester fans that actually have that as well. They've got some hints of it in terms of like foxes and things, but yeah, that's
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. So that's kind of not gonna lie, it's throwing me off a little bit in terms of that. I'm stunned. So that's brilliant at the moment. So in terms of the history since you supported them, trying to think of any Dutch players that have played for Leicester, and I'm going blank. Um, I was thinking Bruno
Hasselbank.
Werner was, I think he was Swiss, but that's the closest. I can't really think of any of recent.
Well, we had some players on loan. That was Bruma. Bruma.
Yes,
He came.
Bruma,
He
yeah.
was. He came from Chelsea, and
Mhm.
also Patrick van Aanholt.
But
Also
Van
on.
Aanholt,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, and
Yes.
he plays now. Was it Crystal Palace?
Ajax? Is it Crystal Palace, but he plays
No, no.
changed to Ajax, isn't he?
Oh, I can't
What was
remember,
that?
but anyway, those
I'll have a look.
Bruma and Van Aanholt played for, and was it Hasselbank? No,
Uh, Hasselbank? D don't
no,
think
I really can't remember. But there's also another one who was stuttering a lot. I can't. Uh,
yeah. If
no,
anybody knows, again, leave
no,
them in the comments. We'll be able
yes,
to. We'll read them. That will be brilliant. I'm
yeah.
just having a look. I think perhaps Van Aldo plays for Galatasaray.
Ah,
Um, so,
yeah,
so he's gone to Turkey. I think he was linked with Ajax for the longest time, and it didn't end up happening. So so going back over so kind of not just Dutch players, but who have been your in the past? Who have been some of your favorite Leicester City players?
Ooh, in the past. That's a good question. I did. Let me see. Oh, that's hard. I do like. Well, it's a past. He's still here. That's Kasper Schmeichel. I mean, he's a
Mhm.
goalkeeper for such a long time.
Mhm.
And in the past, I really can't remember a name now. Maybe it can be Esso.
Mhm.
That's a name what pops up in my mind, and a very good player. And no, I can't really remember one. No, sorry.
No problem. No problem. I
Yeah,
think, it's funny with Cambiasso, we've had a few fans on here that have gone from Latin America, but even in the world that recognize him as the World Cup winner and going to Leicester and people going, right, where's he? And then we've actually gained quite a few fans since, and then they've stayed around, obviously, since the Great Escape season. And then the other one would be as well. So at the moment with the current squad, you mentioned Kasper Schmeichel. Who else in the squad are you just like, okay, I'd love to watch that player?
yeah. That's for now. Is for me is Jamie Vardy.
Mhm.
He's from where he came from, and it's a remarkable story. And I bought a book from on eBay
Mhm.
from nowhere, and also have it. It's also signed. So I'm
Oh,
really
wow.
happy to. So I'm really happy to have this book, and he was he came quite late, and I believe at the age of 28, I think he joined
Mhm.
the club,
27, yeah.
and till 27, yeah, and
Mhm.
yeah, history maker, record after record, and he's I love him. Yeah, he's such a good football player. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think as well, just on him as well, that he's got 20 more goals, I think, until he gets into Premier League all-time top 10. 20 or 20 odd goals something. Do you think that's
Okay.
doable with Jamie Vardy? Obviously, I think the main thing that will stop him is injuries at the moment. We've seen it's kind of a consistent thing where he's still scoring and assisting, but it's the
Yeah.
injuries. But do you think I think his um, contract expires in 2023. We'll have to see
Yeah.
what happens there. Do you think he's going to be able to do that? Because again, he's still one of the top strikers in the league, even being injured for 2 months.
Yeah, I think he can do it because he's now 35, 36.
Hmm.
And well, if you're comparing him with all due respect, older strikers like Zlatan Ibrahimovic, is still at the age of 40, is still a huge athlete, and I
Hmm.
still think that 40 can do that by reaching another 20. Yeah, he can
Hmm.
do it, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
that'd
hope
be.
he stays. By the way, I hope he stays.
Yes, I think
Yeah,
his choices are very well. We'll have to see in terms of the rebuild and things that are going to happen, but we'll get onto that a little bit later. The last thing was, when did you? Well, a couple of other questions. When do you? So when's the last match that you visited the King Power?
that was before a month before the pandemic. Actually, it was
Oh.
February 2020. I visited a home match against Chelsea, and it was a 2-2 draw.
Ah, yes, with Barnes
Yeah,
again missing the opening goal. Well, the last goal, but I think that was the time. I don't remember where it was. We were just
yeah,
thinking, if this guy can finish, he'd be a great player. Forward to
absolutely.
2 seasons, and we're seeing him thrive.
Yeah, yeah. So that was the last game I visited Leicester, and I'm really missing it very much because as I'm really jealous about the season ticket holders who can go every week, and for me it's a 1 year thing.
Hmm.
Because it's quite expensive to just come
Hmm.
over and watch the game. So yeah, I'm very jealous on each and every season ticket holder at Leicester. Yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely a privilege as well going, but sometimes again you can go game in game out, and it's funny how the crowd turns at sometimes when, for example, I was at the Brighton game and you see the crowd is not enjoying it, and it is funny. But the football again, football's a roller coaster because you genuinely can't predict anything. That's why a lot of people love sports as well. And one thing as well, just kind of another thing, for when you visited the Queen Power, what or from Leicester, is there anything that made it special or anything that made it interesting to you since you came here?
what makes it interesting is it's always such a special feeling for being in Leicester, and during the years I came over, I make some friends, and
Mhm.
one of them is a good friend of mine who has a pub in Seiston, and
Mm.
that is the beer pharmacy, and he helped me with some scarves of the
Mm.
of with the chairman, and which I'm very happy with, and that makes it really special to see some friends again, and having a chat and having a pint, and that makes it really special to come over and watching the football.
Mhm.
And it's also nice to see the club growing, and in several ways, like the new training ground they've built, the next plans for extending the stadium. So it's every time you're visiting Leicester, the club is growing, and that's really nice to see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely so. And we are getting there again slowly. It takes time, I think, in the land of where social media is becoming more and more prevalent and available now, that things go, oh, we want results now. And it's like, well, it takes time and it takes things to the process. We have to kind of trust in that. And so one thing as well with the squad, there looks like there's going to be a summer rebuild as well. Is there any
yeah,
players that you think we'd like to bring in, or anything that any part that we need to improve on, not to take us kind of to the next level? Or who would you like to
yeah.
see?
First of all, I was quite surprised that the club didn't announce any contract extensions. So because
Mm,
I'm believe James Madison, his contract is also till 2023, just like
mhm,
Jamie Vardy, and I was expecting more contract extensions. Um, mm, I hope the club will also keep the manager Brendan Rodgers, because I just this morning I read an article that on the Daily Mail that he just bought a home in 13 miles from Manchester United. So the rumors are there that he will be leaving maybe our club, and
mhm,
but I hope he stays. And also incoming players. I was hoping Jesse Lingard, for example, would come back. And I was actually hoping also maybe Christian Eriksen. He joined Brentford, and I was really hoping that he was joining our club, because there was some rumors too that Leicester would be interested. And but those type of players, I was hoping for some signings. And now you can see that our defense is very fragile, very Fofana is a very big injury. Evans is a very big miss because he doesn't play. So the heart of the defense is actually injured, and so I hope the Leicester will sign some defenders who can be replaceable if there's a big injury. Because if you see now at the league table, we don't have any problems scoring goals, but the defense is at this moment a problem.
Yeah, it is definitely a problem, and I think we've conceded. I think, well, we'll have to see after the game, but we've conceded. I think one of the most Premier League. I think we've conceded 10 more, but we've managed to score a lot more, and that's the thing. We've been playing in these fine margins as well. I think we've again, and just in terms of that, obviously you're right in terms of some of the contracts. Again, we went through this with Rob Tanner in terms of. So in the summer, we've got Daniel Amarty's out of contract in 2022. In 2023, we've got Evans, Pereira, Tillemans, Perez, Soyuncu, Bertrand, Napoli's Mendy, Chowdhury, Vardy, who's got an option of a year extra as well, and then Schmeichel as well. So there's going to be, it looks like, again, when it comes to the summer, these players are going to be in their final years of contract, whether they're offered some or whether they're going to go, because that's a lot of players, I think, and that's a lot of experience as well that's going to. But if they were to run out their contract and it was to expire, to leave as well.
Yeah, you're right, and I really hope the club will act soon for expiring contracts, because you don't want to be too late and having the risk players can leave the club for free.
Yeah, exactly. One thing is, well, before just a couple of things. One more thing in terms of Watford and how we played against Watford. And we had 8 players injured. We played the under 23s, a lot of them. And is there anybody there, or is there anybody that you looked at that kind of performance? And obviously Watford were poor with Claudio Ranieri back at the stadium again. Is there anybody there that you looked at and would go, okay, this could be a future player from the under 23s that could come up to the first team?
Well, there is I can't remember his name, but he's very young. He's like a 16-year-old striker.
Alves.
Yes. Then that's he is a very big potential, but I think the players in the development squad are maybe not unexperienced, but maybe too young just to start in the starting 11 in our club. If you look at Luke Thomas, he's doing amazing. I believe he's also from the club. Started his how do you say that in English? Sorry. Or else
No
you
problem.
can,
Yeah.
But Luke Thomas is also from the development, and also Dewsbury Hall. But if you look at them, they're not. They're young, but not like physically big and strong. They're smart. They're good players, but still they need more experience. So saying now for players from the development squad just jumping into the first team, that could be, from my point of view, a bridge too far.
Yeah, potentially a couple of like for example, Harvey Barnes. You're looking at Dewsbury Hall with a couple of loans and then coming back into the squad and then thriving this season. Harvey Barnes, we just mentioned before, returned from loan, and then he had a bit of a rough half a season, and then the next season he took up as well.
That's a great example. Harvey Barnes went loaned out to West Brom, I think, and came back and was so much more mature and and that could be a very good development for every player. Just living loaned out and do some experience, and after that, just like Dewsbury Hall also went loaned out to other clubs, and now he's also much more mature. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Again, it's been great to speak to you, Marco. Thank you so much. I'll leave your social down in the description, but anywhere where people can find you as well.
Yeah, great.
No, where can the people find you?
Oh, you can cut this too. People can find me on Twitter at LCFC Holland.
Perfect.
They can find me on, yeah.
So, yeah, there'll be a link in the description to that as well. Any final thoughts before we finish as well, Marco?
Final thoughts. Just one more thing. I would like to show you what I have, because if you see, you saw I have a lot of collectibles. I also have the crisps.
Ah, wow.
Yeah, I bought.
That's great. In a box as well.
Yeah, also framed in the box. This was one of my most expensive investments of collectibles, and I never bought expired bag of crisps in my life. But I had to buy these, and I had to have these, and so I have this shipped over, framed as well, from the UK. So that's the only thing I would love to show you.
That's something that, again, with no context, that makes absolutely no sense why you would frame a packet of crisps.
Yeah,
but that is hilarious. Yeah, Marco, thank you for joining. Thank you everybody for watching as well. If you like, subscribe, make sure to follow Marco below as well. We'll see everybody in the next video. So goodbye.
Thank you very much.